Some people see Cooper Flagg as a comet ready to streak across the NBA sky. Others, though, give him that sideways glance. You know the one, the kind that says, okay, but where's the crazy stat line that sets him apart? It's fascinating how the same player can inspire both awe and skepticism, but that's what happens when talent comes wrapped in nuance instead of eye-popping numbers. The truth is, Cooper isn't your typical prodigy who dominates in one clear area. He's more like that student who aces everything with an 8 but never quite hits a 10. Ironically, that well-roundedness often raises more questions than praise. People keep waiting for that one elite skill, a lights-out jumper, freakish athleticism, some kind of highlight reel specialty. But anyone who really understands the game knows basketball isn't built on raw stats alone. Think about it. Isn't the real genius in the consistency? In a basketball world where everyone wants to be the best at one thing, maybe the guy who gives you 80% across the board every night is the true hidden gem. It's like that one friend who may not be the best at anything, but is always the one you trust to get things done. That's Cooper. And that kind of reliability is gold in a team setting. And if you're someone who enjoys analyzing judgment patterns, here's a fun exercise. Compare how the media viewed guys like Kawhi Leonard or Jimmy Butler before they became stars. You'll see that what once looked like uncertainty is now praised as a complete game. Cooper might just be another chapter in that same story. And speaking of living up to the hype, he wasted no time making noise in college. When you talk about Cooper Flagg in the college basketball world, it's impossible to ignore the weight he carries. And we're not just talking about the jersey. The guy is currently the betting favorite for National Player of the Year as a freshman. Yes, you read that right. Being a freshman at that level puts him in rarefied air, alongside names like Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and Zion Williamson. It's like showing up on the first day of class and sitting in the teacher's chair. But don't mistake this for just hype or media favoritism. Cooper's presence on the court directly impacts Duke's performance, and that impact goes beyond raw stats. It's that intangible sense of control and calm he brings, the kind of player who gives you the feeling of, we got this. He's like that GPS voice saying, in 200 feet, turn right, and you follow it without hesitation. He has that quiet authority that elevates even routine plays into something meaningful. What makes his rise even more compelling is that he's not flashy about it. He's not chasing the spotlight. He just plays, and he plays at an elite level. He's one of those guys who doesn't have to say he's good. His performance speaks for itself, and in a cutthroat environment like the NCAA, that kind of quiet dominance, that's gold. Here's the fun part. Cooper steps onto the floor like he's already in the NBA. His understanding of the game is so advanced, it feels like he's rehearsing for a bigger stage. And if you think that sounds like an exaggeration, just wait until you see the historic numbers he's already racking up. Some players shine in highlights, others in raw stats. Cooper Flagg, he shines where it actually matters, in the advanced metrics that define elite level impact. PUR, win shares per 40 minutes, box score plus minus. Sure, those might sound like buzzwords to some, but in the world of basketball, they're certificates of excellence. And guess what? Cooper ranks among the best in history in these metrics. Yes, history. Not bad for someone who hasn't even made his NBA debut yet. And here's the craziest part. People still question his potential. It's like looking at a report card full of A+ grades and saying, yeah, but he doesn't smile during group presentations. Come on, these numbers don't lie. If you understand the game, you know that leading in these categories means real, tangible impact on the floor. Want a fun thought experiment? Try comparing Cooper's metrics to college legends from the past 20 years. Very few have ever hit this level of consistency in such demanding statistical categories. These aren't flashy viral moments. They're earned through effort, IQ, and flawless execution. Cooper basically hacked the efficiency leaderboard with an invisible keyboard. These numbers reflect a pattern of consistent excellence, the kind that makes NBA scouts drool. And believe it or not, this started long before college. Cooper Flagg didn't learn how to win in college. He was winning before he even knew how to properly tie his sneakers. This guy was named National High School Player of the Year, and he didn't stop there. He represented the US on the U17 Olympic team and brought home the gold with a stat line that reads like something out of a video game. 10 points, 17 rebounds, 8 steals, and 4 blocks in the final. Sounds like a myth? It actually happened. What's fascinating is how certain athletes seem to carry a natural aura of leadership. Cooper's one of those players who, even without saying much, sets the tone. He's like that one kid in class, you know, the one who simply walks in and commands attention. His style is intense, focused, and calm like a seasoned vet. He wins because he gives everything, and he gives everything because he hates to lose. His journey so far feels like something straight out of a Hollywood script. Winning at every level he's played isn't just about talent, it's about mindset, that hunger that doesn't go away even after a feast. Want to apply that to real life? Try committing fully to something, a project, a health goal, or that course you keep putting off. Be like Cooper, show up to win, not just to participate. And let's be real, winning isn't just about lifting trophies, it's about building a reputation. Each one of his victories is another brick in the foundation of a leader who's about to dominate the next level. But here's the kicker, he's doing all of this while still being the youngest guy in the room. Cooper Flagg's resume was already jaw-dropping, but then you find out he's a full year younger than most of his competition, and your jaw hits the floor. He reclassified early, entered college at just 17, and turned 18 mid-season, and he's already putting seasoned veterans in his back pocket. It's like a 9th grader acing senior year exams. Hard not to be impressed. You've heard the saying, time equals experience, right? In Cooper's case, it's like he arrived with a portable hard drive full of maturity. He's not just competing, he's dominating, and not just anywhere. He's doing it at Duke, one of the toughest and most demanding programs in college basketball. That alone shows that age is just a number when you've got emotional intelligence and laser focus. And here's the real takeaway. This goes beyond basketball. Age doesn't define your value or your ability to make history. I've seen people start businesses at 40 and crush it. Others launched at 16 and flipped their lives completely. Cooper reminds us it's not about when you start, it's about how you show up and why you're in the game in the first place. Now here's the truly surreal part. Even at his age, he's already outpacing Duke legends like Jason Tatum and Paolo Banchero in key statistical categories. And if he's doing that now, just imagine the kind of impact he's having on defense. Let's put it this way, if defense were an art, Cooper Flagg would be a blend of Da Vinci's vision and Bruce Lee's precision. He ranks top 3 in the nation in defensive win shares, defensive box score plus minus, and defensive rating. It's like he has a sixth sense, predicting plays before they even unfold. Quick, strong, technical opponent? Doesn't matter. Cooper is always 2 moves ahead, but defense isn't just about numbers. It's posture, instinct, intensity, and anticipation. Watch any Duke game and you'll spot it immediately. Cooper's the guy holding the fort in the paint, rotating on help defense, contesting shots with surgical timing. It's like he's installed an antivirus in the opponent's offense. Nothing gets through without his analysis. Here's a cool analogy. In chess, the greatest players don't win by attacking alone. They win by defending smartly. That's Cooper. Patient, calculated, silent until it's time to strike. And for anyone building a career, that's a lesson in proactive problem solving. Be the teammate who spots issues early, steps in, and solves problems before they escalate. That's the Cooper mindset, and it's powerful. And that's the real charm. He doesn't just defend like a seasoned vet. He makes in-game decisions like a master tactician. And speaking of smart decisions, you've got to see how this kid reads the game and reacts faster than anyone else on the court. If there's one thing that separates the good from the great in basketball and in life, it's decision making, and Cooper Flagg is already standing out for it. He's not just a skilled player, he's a smart one. He has that rare sense of timing and spatial awareness, like the game is playing in slow motion just for him. It's like when someone solves a complex problem so smoothly, everyone assumes it was luck, but really, it was vision and control. His leadership isn't loud, it's by example. Cooper is the kind of player who brings order to chaos without needing to shout. He always makes the right pass, the right read, and almost never forces a play. That builds trust from teammates, coaches, and fans. And let's be honest, in today's world, being reliable is practically a superpower. Apply that in your job, studies, or any group setting, and you become a pillar in no time. Here's a challenge. In any team, project, or group you join, try to be the one who sees the big picture. Observe more, anticipate better, speak less, and solve more. That's how Cooper became a sort of silent maestro on the court, and it's one of the big reasons he's now increasingly seen as the next big thing in the NBA. And his story doesn't stop there. Beyond being cerebral, he's evolving, practically and measurably. He's literally become more lethal as the season progressed. Want to see how? If there's one thing that lights up a scout's eyes, it's when a player shows rapid, measurable progress, and Cooper Flagg has done just that. Early in the season, he was averaging 16.6 points per game, shooting just 24.4% from 3. You could see the talent, but nothing earth-shattering. But then, boom, over the last 20 games, he leveled up, jumping to 21 points per game and an astonishing 45.2% from beyond the arc. That's not evolution, that's a transformation. This kind of leap reveals something money can't buy: adaptability. Cooper didn't complain about his shot not falling. He went to work, he tweaked his mechanics, studied the game, and came back sharper and deadlier. That principle applies to any field. If you identify a weakness and train with discipline, it can become your biggest strength. Want a real-world parallel? People terrified of public speaking who train consistently often become company-wide communication leaders. That's the mindset. What's even more impressive? He improved under increasing pressure. Most players crack when the spotlight intensifies. Not Cooper. He used the moment as a launchpad. It's like he said, "Hold me to a higher standard. I'll give you more." That's the essence of a champion's mindset, the silent hunger of someone who doesn't need to prove anything, but chooses to prove it anyway. And when you combine technical growth with mental consistency, you get a player who's not just impressive, he's dangerous from anywhere on the floor. And speaking of which, you need to see how versatile this guy really is in game. Versatility is the name of the game in modern basketball, and Cooper Flagg understood that before most players even realized the rules had changed. He's not just good in one position or one scenario, he's a force in the post, in transition, in the pick and roll, in isolation. It's like he has a version of himself for every style of play. He's a Swiss Army knife in sneakers. Just when you think he's gonna pull up for a shot, he dimes a teammate. When you expect the pass, he drives hard to the rim. That unpredictability scrambles defenses and earns instant respect from coaches. This kind of versatility is a weapon, not just because it makes him dangerous, but because it gives his team freedom. You know that friend you can call to both grill the burgers and organize the vacation budget spreadsheet. That's Cooper on the court. He handles whatever the moment demands, wherever it's needed. And in basketball, as in life, being multifaceted makes you indispensable. In fact, anyone trying to stand out in the job market can learn a ton from this mindset. Having multiple skill sets is what gets people promoted, remembered, and referred. If you're a designer, learn some copywriting. If you're a coder, understand the business side. Just like Cooper, you don't have to be the best at one thing to be valuable. The more dimensions you master, the harder it is to replace you. And with a skill set this wide, it's hard not to wonder just how far Cooper can go, because what he's already delivering would be enough on its own. But he's still being built, still evolving, and everything points to one destination: stardom.